Welcome to Grumpy John's garage. Welcome to part... No, that's not me. This is more like me. Welcome to Grumpy John's garage. Welcome to part 2 of the Willys MB windscreen cowling replacement panel. What I'll do, I'll put the helmet off first. Then I'll go through and do a recap of what I've done. As you see, I've got the camera set up here on the tripod. I've got the camera here. What I've got here is, this is the new cowl that I made in the last video, part 1. And you can see now that I've drilled the holes. I think that now, with the way it's sitting on that panel there, it's probably a drain hole. Then you've got the 2 bolt holes for your screen mount. And it's looking nice. And now what I'll do, I'll turn it over and I'll explain what's happening next. As you can see, it's got a nice wee gap along here, and that'll fold over just nicely. And I pointed out in the last video, part 1, there's a bend. You see the bend? That one. That hole there is 6.5. That hole's 6.5. Right in the middle here, 6.25. And if you look at this is the bulkhead underneath it, the dash. It's got a curve in it, so that means it's meant to be there like that. So what I'm going to do, as you can see that I left that bit lip on it, if you remember that in part 1. What I'm going to do, I'll work out the distance from there to the bar, and then I'll recreate it on this side, and I'll just follow that shape, and then I'll bend it round at the same speed as this. Now the end bit's there, if you remember that, that's the fake curve for the end of the windscreens. And this bit here, and remember them, 2 of them. I've got this to cut out, but I've already cut this one out. And what I've done, I've left a wee bit there, enough for the thickness of a grinder disc, because that's how I cut it out. It's the old panel. But the plan today is to get this lip bent round. So I'll set you up in the tripod and we'll get started. Plan of attack today is to fold this edge over. That's the job we need to do. First thing we need to do is practice. This is a bit of practice already, as you can see there. Beautiful folded edge. You can see there, beautiful folded edge. So what I've done is I've cut a sheet of steel with straight edge that matches that, and it matches the holes for the mounting, so that when I set that on there, it matches up with the edge there, and we can practice. What I'll do, I'll put a couple of bolts in there just to hold it in place. The plan is, this block of wood is going to sandwich the tube, then it'll sandwich the metal, and then this wee block of wood here will sit on the top, sandwich the top. I'll then clamp it in place with these, and then I'll show you then. That's it all clamped up now for this practice test. First thing we're going to use is the rubber hammer. This one here is one of my favourite hammers. It's got 2 rubber ends, one being a cone and the other being flat. Love this hammer. Use it for quite a lot of my repairs. And as you can see with the tape, it stops damaging the paintwork. So the first thing we're going to do is use the flat edge on the metal, fold that over, then we'll use the metal hammer. You don't want to use the metal hammer to fold it over. You use this at the end, because if you hit the edge of it with the edge of your hammer, it might warp the panel and it'll just not fold over nicely. And we'll just carry on with this one. We're just going to take our time. We're not going to go fast. And you can see that I'll just have to readjust this one a wee bit. Yeah. When you're banging things like this with a hammer, it's going to move things. As you can see, it's folding over just nicely. This one likes moving. Then we'll use this hammer. Very lightly. Very lightly. All we're doing with this little hammer here is just dressing it off. We're not forcing it to shape it like we did with a rubber hammer. We're using this here just to flatten this edge so it's a nice flat edge. And we're not hitting it hard enough that we're warping the panel. Now that we've practiced that, let's take it off. What we'll do now, we'll take a look. And what do you think? That's coming out a treat. You can see it there. Nice and flat. You can see how flat it is, the panel. That's going to come over so nicely. You can see how it follows the contour of the tube. And this area here from there is not buckled at all. Nice and flat. And if you look at this side, nice and flat. Look how neat that contours. That's because you're using a rubber hammer to fold it over. First thing I'm going to have to do before I fold any edge over is sort this front lip out. And the way I'm going to do it is, what I've done, I've checked side, side and side, and I've measured with the ruler that it's a 3/8 of an inch lip that's on it. So what I'll do, I'll get the ruler and I'll mark 3/8 lip along there, then I'll cut it out and then it'll be ready for folding over. That's it marked out now. All I've got to do is join the dots. Now that we've got this wee bit of trimmed off there, around that edge there, you can see how neat it is now. A lot better. What I'll do, I'll clamp it onto the frame now and we'll start getting it bent. I think the first edge I'm going to bend over is these two, and that'll help keep it in place. But you can see how neat that is now. Now that I've trimmed it off. And I'll bend that one over as well. So what I'll do, I'll get it clamped in and we'll get ready to bend it. Rubber hammer first, remember, flat. You can hear the thump getting duller. That means it's folded round as flat as it's going to go. Next job we'll do with this. That's perfect. Feels nice. Let's go round to the other side. Now that I've taken the clamp off, you can see what a nice wee job that is. It's folded round just nicely. And there's no hammer marks on it, no indents, nothing, because I've used the right hammers. You stay there. Just do it lightly, just lightly. Easy as that. Let's take a closer look. Come out a treat. Fold it over just nicely. Perfect. Now that'll hold the panel from moving, even though I've got that bolts in there anyway, but it'll help it stop it moving. Look how neat that is. It turned out really nice. It's folded round, it's round that frame perfectly. Maybe 1, 2, 3 welds there with a spot welder. That'll clamp on real nice. There you go. You can see that. You see the gap there. And I'll close it up. Fits perfect. That's going to clamp and weld real nice. Well, let's get on with the rest of it. Now that I've got a fresh cup of tea, what I'll do, I'll put it to the side to cool down, and I'll get this lip bent over. Then it'll be ready to drink. Let's get this lip bent. What I'm going to do, I'm going to work from the inside to the outside, and then do it from there to the outside. Sore the arm. Now that I've had a sip of my tea, we can have a look at this folded edge we've just done. What do you think? Press it down. We'll maybe just dress that off a wee bitty just before we weld it. But you can see, it just fits nicely. I'll turn it over now. Now that I've got the screen up, you can see how well that's sitting. Just needs a wee dress off at the corner there. Look how well that's sitting. Nice. That's going to weld on really nice down there. Really nice. Looks really good from the outside. Let's get the other seam done. It's different the way you clamp this one because it's curved. So what I'm going to have to do, I'll basically do from about here round to there. I can't fold that round because I've got to wait till I readjust it and do the other side. Readjust. I forgot to press record on you. And now that's that edge folded over. I'm not going to bend any more of this lip here until I've got the other bit, because that needs to be bent over with that other bit of panel to make sure the contour is right. Which I've not really thought of how to do yet, but what I'll do, I'll unclamp it and we'll take a look. Now that it's been unclamped, what we'll do, we'll take a closer look at the folded edge. It's turned out really nice. And even from this angle across the top there, the plane, you can't see any dents, which is fantastic. What I'll do now is I'll take the panel off the frame and we can have a look at it without the frame. Now it's off, we can take a closer look at it. You can see how, you can see how neat it's folded over around that tube. And you can see how flat it is. Fantastic. Turned out really nice. Really chuffed with this. Fantastic. So in part 3 what I'll do is I'll get these wee corner panels and we'll get them shaped. We'll get this end bit here shaped as well, and then we'll get it welded on. Fantastic. Fantastic. I know it's taken a bit of time doing this, and originally it was supposed to just be 2, but with the amount of time it took me to clamp, reclamp, clamp, reclamp, and fold it all over and take my time and show you how to do it, I think a third part would be perfect. It'd just be too long. And what we'll do in the third part, we'll get the wee corner bits shaped, cut the other one out, I've cut one already, and we'll shape the final part of that panel. But it's turned out fantastic. I'm so chuffed with how it's come out. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I don't usually get to do this. Usually it's body filler and paint work that I do, which I don't mind. And we'll carry on, get the other bits done, and I hope you're enjoying it. If you are, please like, please subscribe. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm going to finish this cup of tea, get tidied up, and get set for part 3. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.